Hey, I'm Steph, a clinical educator at Orygen, Australia's Centre of Excellence in Youth Mental Health. Experimentation with substances, things like alcohol, cannabis, vaping products and other drugs, often begins in adolescence. That's really common, and for many young people it doesn't lead to long-term problems. But for some, substance use can become more harmful over time. That's what we call a substance use disorder, when the pattern of use starts to have a real impact on your health, mood, relationships, or your ability to do things that matter to you. Globally, the peak age when substance use disorders first appear is between the ages of 19 and 20. And that's important because this period of life is a time of huge social, emotional, and brain development. If substance use becomes harmful during this window, it can disrupt the development that makes things like study, work, and relationships much more difficult. In this video, we'll look at why young people use substances, how to recognise when use might be becoming a problem, the kinds of support available, and where to go if you'd like to talk to someone. There isn't one single reason young people use substances. Often, it's a mix of things. Some people use substances out of curiosity. They want to try something new. For others, it could be about fitting in or feeling more confident in social situations. Some might be looking for a way to cope with stress, anxiety, low mood, or to deal with difficult life events. Substances can sometimes give temporary relief or distraction, but those effects don't always last. And over time, they can actually make underlying challenges feel worse. If someone starts relying on substances to manage emotions or day-to-day stress, it can become harder to cope without them or even exacerbate issues. A really common question we hear is, how do I know if it's becoming an issue? Well, there's a few signs to look out for. This is not in a judgmental way, but as signals that it might be time to check in with yourself, a friend, family member, carer, or with a professional. Some early signs include using substances more often or in larger amounts than you planned, finding it hard to cut back even when you want to, spending a lot of time thinking about using, getting substances, or recovering from use, noticing that school, work, or relationships are starting to slip or be impacted, feeling more anxious, low, or irritable when you're not using substances, using substances to cope with feelings rather than for enjoyment or social reasons. Another sign is if people close to you, such as friends, family, or even colleagues and teammates, start expressing concern. That doesn't automatically mean there's a problem, but it's worth paying attention to. Science shows that our brains are still developing right through to our mid-20s, especially the parts responsible for decision-making, impulse control, emotional regulation, and planning. Research also shows that up to 75% of all mental ill health onsets by age 25, and peak onset is 15. This means substances can have stronger effects, and the risks for teens can be different compared to older adults. For example, substances can affect memory, attention, and motivation. They can make existing mental health symptoms like anxiety or depression feel more intense. They can increase the likelihood of accidents or risky situations. None of this is about scare tactics. It's about understanding what's happening to your body and your brain so you can make informed decisions. If you think you're noticing some of those signs in yourself, there's a lot of options for support, including learning strategies to reduce harm, understanding your patterns of use, or setting goals that feel realistic for you. Support might include talking to a GP. They can help with information, health checks, and referrals. Counselling or psychology support. This could include strategies like cognitive behavioural therapy, also known as CBT, which can help with cravings, mood, habits, and triggers. Harm reduction strategies, things like spacing out use, avoiding mixing substances, using in safer environments, or making sure someone you trust is around. Peer work, support from people who've been through a similar experience. individualised support, making sure support is tailored to your needs, preferences, and what matters to you. This could include exploring LGBTQIA+ affirming services, culturally safe First Nations support, or neuro-affirming approaches that work with your strengths and ways of thinking. There's no one-size-fits-all approach. What matters most is finding something that feels safe, respectful, and genuinely useful for you. One practical tool is to ask yourself a few simple questions. Is my substance use helping me, or is it getting in the way of the things that I enjoy and care about? If I tried to cut back, how hard would it be? Has anyone close to me expressed concern? Do I feel pressure from myself or others to keep using even when I'm not enjoying it? If you answer yes to any of these, it could be a good idea to reflect on your use and reach out for help. If you'd like to talk to someone, reaching out is a really strong step, not a sign of weakness. You can contact your GP, a school or university counsellor, or other local youth mental health services. There are also confidential helplines, online chats and peer services if you'd prefer to stay anonymous. Whatever your experience looks like, you're not alone and support is available. We've dropped some links in our description below. Thanks for spending time with me. If you've recognised anything in this video in yourself or in someone you care about, know that help is out there and things can change. Taking even a small step towards support can make a big difference.